Do you know my facts? Do you know my statistics?
Have you been hearing these songs? You've been hearing what I've been singing. You hear the lyrics?
You can have an unhealthy obsession with something that is good. Like even when you're working for God, that it becomes an idol. You can have crowds who are focused on the wrong thing if you're focused on the wrong thing. So if you're diverting them away from what the purpose of this ministry is, you're missing the call.
Is there ever a world
Yeah.
where CalledOutMusic stops existing?
The call is to go into the world and make disciples, not go into the world and make music.
Everyone ready? Yeah? Welcome to Conversation with Haych.
That is
What's going on, people? Welcome to Conversation with Haych. Now, this is called Revisited.
Yeah.
Now, it's exactly the same premise as Conversation with Haych as you know it, but we invite guests who've appeared on the show previously and we have another conversation about their life, you know, years later. Now, I'm honored to have a multi-award-winning Christian artist and creative who has championed and been at the forefront of UK Christian and gospel music for the last 10 years. A pioneer who has built on the shoulders of those who have come before him with grace and respect. A man who strives for continued obedience and excellence in all that he does and everything that he is. I introduce to you the international touring, the London live show enthusiast, the sweet gospel connoisseur, the incomparable Samuel. Nachuku, you know, I keep messing up the last name, you know.
Okay, don't worry about it,
I
bro.
apologize, aka
cool,
CalledOutMusic. How you
Bro,
doing, man?
pleasure to be here, man.
Listen,
Yes.
we first had our conversation January 2020. What are some of the major milestones that has happened
Boy, since then.
in the last 5 years?
So, bro, wow. So that 2020, the mobile happened, and then we had a pandemic, which is mad for like 2 years. So nothing happened in my life, but I just released a lot of music, albums, got married, moved out, moved back in. No, before I got married, by the way, because it might sound mad. It's like, got married, moved out where? What's going on? So in like 2022, moved out my parents' house for the first time. Wow. And then moved back in with them, and then moved out again, and then got married, and then life.
What was that like?
Moving back in and out.
Yeah.
It was hard, because I was like 25, 26, and I hated being at home, because like, as a man, I had this thing in my mind that, why am I a 26-year-old living at home? But now in hindsight, I'm like, bro, I saved a lot of money. Like, my bro, like in this economy, I was a 26-year-old living with my parents, I was helping at home. But moving out temporarily helped me to see things from a different point of view. So I started to save more because I was like, bro, if I don't put my money together, then I'm going to be finished. Like, you know them ones when you're waiting for the 28th to come, end of the month, it's like the 13th, but it's peak. You're already waiting for, it's the 13th, but you're already waiting for the 28th, bro. Them ones, like.
You're like, I got 15 days.
You're doing the maths.
How am I going to survive with £50 in my account? So 15 days,
Brother,
I'm with you.
That happened to me too many times, and I was just like, after a while I said, Samuel, pattern up, bro. Pattern up. And then that season helped me to really understand how to save my money better. And then I've done so much, bro. Like, been touring for like the last 5 years. That's been amazing. There's one continent I haven't been to, and that's South America. And the fact that I can say that is actually crazy. Like, the music that started in my bedroom by myself with Apple earphones and a broken laptop has taken me to 6 out of 7 continents.
That is crazy.
Actually nuts. Like, it's kind of wild, and it's the Lord's doing, bro. I don't take credit for it. So we just finished a world tour. I don't know if I should call it a world tour, because I didn't go to South Africa in it.
What?
I mean, I didn't go to South America, not South Africa.
Yeah, well,
so
why? So do you consider a world tour has to be every continent?
For me, because when I look at obviously when Michael Jackson was doing his thing, innit?
I said, Michael Jackson? What are we doing here?
No, okay, for real now. But for me, a world tour, you meant to go all around the world.
You did go all around the world?
I didn't go to South America.
That's one continent out of 7.
I know. Okay, it is a world tour. Don't get me wrong. It's
Thank you.
It is.
Come on, man. It's not a world tour. Can it go South America? What is this? Some of us can't even get out of the UK. You're telling me it's not no world tour because I didn't go South America?
Hey, my bad, my bad, my
Sam,
bad.
come on, man.
Yeah, so it was a world tour.
Yeah.
We did Africa,
Yeah.
Europe, obviously London, I don't know if you want to call it Europe. And then USA. Then I went to South Korea with Holy.
Yeah. Holy
Big shout out to Holy. Insane what God's doing through them. And that was like just evangelistic, but yeah, it counted as what we were doing. And then I went to Australia, and that was nuts. That was the flight is what they say it is. It's long.
Do you still not enjoy flying? Because when we spoke before,
Yeah,
you were
hated
saying,
it.
I don't really like it.
Yeah.
One of the things you were saying was around, don't really like the takeoff, don't really like the landing. We're just in a flying metal object, was one of the words that you used. Do you enjoy it now more than you did 5 years ago?
I've just learned to cope.
Oh, so it's not an enjoyment.
It's not an enjoyment, man. I'm learning to like, it is what it is. Gotta do what you gotta do, man. Like, if I could like go by any other means, I would. It's also gonna like be very long.
Yeah.
I would still opt to take a Eurostar to Paris if I can.
Yeah.
But yeah, flying is what it is, man.
Okay.
Yeah, but the fare is not as bad as it used to be.
Okay, that's good. So you spoke about getting married. When you get married, you're fully fledged, CalledOutMusic, known to the masses. How do you cope, or how do you split between CalledOut, known to the masses, as well as Samuel, fiance, then goes to get married, then becomes husband?
Yeah, crazy.
How do you split that and keep your private life private, and the public persona of you?
I think it's been easier than I thought it would be. Number one, because my wife Deborah is so understanding. So she's not here to compete. She's here to complement. So she's not trying to compete for my time and my attention. She's here to add to everything that God is doing in my life. And with that kind of like mindset that she has, I want to give her more of my time. So I'm just like, she is my first ministry. So in my life, right before, it was like CalledOutMusic, as in terms of music and ministry.
Yeah.
And everything else. That's what it was before. But now it's like Deborah, my family, like my nuclear family, my mom, my brothers, my sisters, even her family now are under that. And then you have CalledOutMusic. Like,
how did that change though?
It had to change, Haych. I think it's unhealthy to have what should be your first ministry compete with something else. I think music and ministry now has taken a different form for me, whereas I'm not like living for this thing to work. I'm not identified by being an artist anymore. Right now, like I'm a husband. Like that's the ministry that the Lord honors. That's who I am. Like, CalledOutMusic is great. If CalledOutMusic was to stop tomorrow, I'm still a husband. Do you know what I mean? And I'm learning to treasure that so much more, because in prioritizing my wife over the music, it's making me a better artist, because I'm learning to put things in the right places and put things in the right boxes. Now I'm closer to God because I'm always praying. Now I'm closer to God because I have more responsibility. Now I'm even more efficient as an artist because I know, all right, I've got 9 to 5 to do this thing, because my wife, you know, she works 9 to 5. So when I'm at home during the day, once my wife gets home at like 5, 6, it's her time. It's like no one call me, no one disturb me. I'm at home with my wife. Weekends, I'm with my wife. So to go out and do other things or to tour, I'm like, yo, baby, you cool? I've been invited to do this thing. Just want to make sure you're all right. If she's like, yeah, I'm cool, fine. I'll tell everybody I can be in Australia tomorrow. If my wife calls me and says, hey, man, this thing just happened, I need your help, I'm flying back. Like that thing is over, bro. I'm going to go home. Like, everybody has now known that this is where I stand, you know. But God has honored it big time. Bro, my career has shot up in a crazy way since I've been married.
Really?
And I haven't had to do anything. Like, it's not even like, not about virality or numbers. There's just a certain grounding that has come to be since I've been married that I didn't have before. It's almost brought a sense of legitimacy. And I'm not like glorifying marriage and stuff like that. No, I'm not that, but just the scripture about finding a wife and finding a good thing and obtaining favor from the Lord has been so true in my life, and it's brought a level of peace just a measured approach to everything. I don't find myself competing for things anymore. I'm just so content. I'm just so at peace with who God has brought into my life and cultivating my home, and that being priority over the music. So I will still create music, but now it's in sections. It's in safe, healthy spaces. Whereas before, I did music so much and I was so identified by it. I found my identity in it that a bad day on social media would take my mood down. And a good day on social media, I'll be on cloud 9. And if a song performs well, I'll be so happy. If a song didn't do well, it would almost crash my mood and my emotions.
Really?
Yeah, bro. Like I was so tied to it. And someone can argue and be like, that's part of the reason why maybe some of it went well, because I was so into it. I was like intertwined with the music. Now there's been a bit of a healthy separation that marriage has brought, and also maturity as well, growing up, that now I'm almost separate from the music, not in a way that I don't care about it, but in a way that helps me look after it better and see it from a different point of view and perspective.
Kind of stewarding it.
Exactly.
Okay.
I feel like a gardener now.
Yeah.
Whereas before, I was in the grass with the music, like, this needs water. Okay, this needs sunlight. Okay, and I was like just scattered.
So when is all this happening? Like when if a song doesn't do well, you're really
Well, before,
low.
right?
Yeah. When is this time? Because outside looking in, I don't know how people would be able to see this happening.
Bro, social media it's a highlight reel. Like it would happen, like practically it would manifest. I'll be in my room, my dad will knock, hey, how you doing? Okay. Like, bro, people need to understand, you can have an unhealthy obsession with something that is good. Like even when you're working for God, you can be so unhealthily obsessed with that thing that it becomes an idol. Like, how can something that you're putting out into the world, this is, okay, Lord, use this, and then the performance of that thing, and it's so skewed because God can well be using that thing, even if, say, a song you've put out has got 10,000 streams, and maybe you're used to getting 100,000, but the 10,000 of that song is affected, is blessing people's lives in a mad way, but because you're not seeing that number shoot up all the time, you're thinking it's not effective. And that was some of the mindset that I had. I was like, if success and the Lord using me looks like numbers, look, I got 100,000 in this joint, God's been using me, man. Like, that's some of the ways that I used to think that I had to really tone down and be like, that is false. Like, the biggest success, and I say this on social media a lot recently, the biggest sign of success is obedience. Once you put that song out because the Lord has prompted you to do it, you have succeeded. Because then the rest of the thing that he does with the music is up to him. And he will use it in his own way, in his own time. And I think creatives, we struggle with that. Like, yeah, but I want to see it reflected.
I want to see the fruits.
And we don't get to choose that.
And we can't sow and reap at the same time.
Bro, talk about it.
And I feel, because what you're saying now is blessing a lot of people. When they watch this, it's going to bless a lot of people, because I feel like a lot of people, especially Christian creatives, Christian artists, worship leaders, all those kind of things, if their reels, if their TikToks, if their streams, if their YouTube videos, if they're not hitting a certain views, they're like, oh, God didn't call me to do this. But one thing that you've always talked about over the years is, as long as you are obedient to what you're called to do, you have to let God do the rest.
Absolutely.
Like, Paul talks about it, where he says, you know, one person is to plant, this person is to
water,
and God is the one
who brings the harvest.
Who brings the harvest. God is one that makes it grow. So if we don't lock into allowing God to make it grow, we think we got to do everything.
It's so real. My wife and I, we talk about this a lot, because she sometimes makes certain comments and it's like, oh, I wouldn't have known this, like, because now she's seen me in different, like, at my healthiest, at my most unhealthiest, at my most vulnerable. She can really help me out now. Like, she can actually speak life into a lot of situations that she maybe couldn't before. Now she gets it just like that. And I was saying to my wife, like, this whole social media thing, it has a real negative effect on creatives if you don't check it. If you don't check yourself and really define your own definitions of what success looks like to you. If you let social media dictate that, it's always going to change because the goalpost is moving. And one day, Instagram will say, oh, now we're focusing on Reels, so now make content. And as creatives, we're like, I just want to make music, bro. Like, I'm not trying to make content here, bro. Like, because now you have to almost entertain as well as sell yourself. And I don't think human beings were designed to be that self-absorbed. I don't think we were designed to care that much about ourselves 24/7. You wake up in the morning, how many people follow me? How many there's like, God honors faithfulness, not followers. And I posted something recently, and that's when my life started to change. Over the last probably 2 to 3 years, I've started to see real change in my mindset towards like things like followers, awards, all these things that I would have killed to get before. Now it's like, if I am faithfully, first of all, seeking God first every single day and being consistent with that, everything else will be added.
Yeah.
Which means as a creative, he would give me good songs. He would give me people who love it. And he would make my life, he would use my life as a vessel, and he would do what he does. And that's my definition of success. So that's changed in the last 2-3 years, for sure.
Some people might watch this and think, it's kind of easy for him to talk because he's had this success. So it's kind of easy for you to have this kind of opinion now when so much success has followed you up until that point. But I want, if possible, can you speak to the fact that regardless of the success, that these things, these peaks and troughs continue to happen, even in this space that you're in now, you're still going to find yourself battling against things?
When people say stuff like, oh, it's easy for you to talk, and I kind of respond to that in some ways. I'm like, well, yes and no, because I've heard Kirk Franklin talk about his self-doubt, the fact that he doubts himself. He walks into rooms, he feels like the least talented person in the room. This dude has had a great influence on my life, musically, especially, like in terms of how he was thinking, creating. So I'm like, even people at that level struggle with self-doubt. And so if someone's saying it's easy for you to say it, well, Kirk is saying that so that we start to realign our minds now. So if we're saying, if he's going through that, so maybe I better start rethinking what success looks like for me now so that I never get to the place where I'm burning out. You know what I mean? So I think for me, bro, God doesn't love me more in 2025 than he did in 2015. Like, he was pleased with me in 2015 before all of this started because of what Jesus has done. All of this is extra. Like, his love for me hasn't changed. It's been consistent. And I was always approved in his eyes. I was always validated. I've won every award in his eyes. Like, I'm there. You know what I mean? So I think I really want people to always have the right view of what success looks like, because success, humanly speaking, will always change if internally you don't have your goalposts. Do you know how successful that is? To just start. That's why people just say, just start.
And you've been saying that for years.
Just begin. That's, you're successful as far as I'm concerned. Like, all the awards are not a sign of like success. They may go somewhere to validate in the eyes of people and like award bodies and stuff like that. And I'm not clowning any of them. Big up to all the people doing awards and stuff like that. But that is not a sign of success. It's just, it's like, I don't know, it's an extra pin on your collar type of thing. But the true success is the fact that you began this thing that didn't exist yesterday. People might say it's easy for you to talk about it because by God's special grace, we've been able to taste some level of success in the world's eyes. But the more I've tasted it, the more I've realized that, nah, man, I was successful in 2015. Because now I'm like, yeah, none of this is, it's cool. It's cool, Haych. It's not life defining, bro. Like, and when I stand on that final day, they're not gonna ask me, bro, you done bare streams on Spotty, you know? Oh, he done 1 million streams. Nah, you go to the extra heaven. There's a heaven with cushions and that. Like, no, bro.
There's a heaven with a jam house and a cocoa in there if you want to go to set yourself up on the stage.
Broski, when we stand before God on that day, it's all gonna be like, do I know you? Oh yeah, safe. Come true, man.
With the view of Samuel, as well as CalledOutMusic, there's a steward to that, the stewarding you have to do to that influence. So my kind of question is, how do you become comfortable in what God has called you to do, even more so now in 2025, with more responsibility? And then how do you steward the influence that comes along with that calling?
Yeah, I think that's a good question, man. I think it probably starts with knowing that this is not my thing.
Yeah.
It's been given to me. So it's like if someone asks you to, hey, hold my baby for a bit, I'm going to shop. You're gonna be like, okay, cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, are you okay? Like you're gonna be extra careful. And I kind of feel like that with CalledOutMusic. I feel like with the music that God has given me, He's lent it to me for my time on earth.
Yeah.
It's not like I didn't give myself the gift. God has almost said, there you go. I trust you to have this gift. You better pattern up. And that's how I'm seeing it. And I always say, and that's why it probably hurts my heart a lot more when I hear scandals or I hear things happen in our space, especially as a Christ-centered creative. We have a responsibility to represent and guard the influence of what we're doing because of who has called us, not because of our name or our brands. Like, look, if you're standing on a stage representing Jesus Christ or saying to people, hey, I am a Christian artist, like the Christian carries a lot of weight. And I think sometimes Christian creatives run away from that tag because it's heavy. Because that's why you hear some people say, oh, I'm not a Christian artist, I'm an artist who's Christian. And then like, there's a world where I can understand that if your actual content is good music. Like, there's a fantastic example I always bring up, Henshaw, Sam Henshaw.
One of the best.
Sam Henshaw he would call me and we'll pray. Like, he would talk Bible with me, but Henny makes great music.
Excellent music.
Great music.
Yep.
So when you're talking like that, I can understand. But his character, his behavior, very Christian, very, very spiritually led.
Yeah.
But then I'm talking about Christians who make Christian music, but then are still coming out to be like, I'm just making art. I'm like, bro, you're a worship leader, bro. And I'm often like, not judging, because who am I to judge? I'm not perfect. I'm imperfect as they come. But my heart is always like, to whom much is given, much is expected. There is a call on your life. So that means there's a responsibility in your life to steward that well. So how you act, what you say, how you behave, how you carry yourself, it matters, bro. It does matter. So in not seeing this gift as mine, I'm able to like steward it better and like look after it with the utmost care.
Is there a fear to getting it wrong?
No, because I'm not thinking about getting it wrong. I'm just existing. I'm genuinely like, bro, in my day-to-day life, if I make a mistake, it's a mistake. Like, I'm not doing things I shouldn't be doing. I'm not in places I shouldn't be at. Like, with accountability, like, bro, I mentors for days. And I'm not saying that to boast. I'm saying that because I don't even trust myself like that. I need people in my life who are going to call me and be like, bro, you posted something the other day. Take it down and here's why.
Wow.
Don't even argue with me right now. Take it down and here's why you should take it down. And like, I will always subject myself to constructive criticism. I'll always subject myself to people who can call me, shout at me if you may. You know, my wife, she was joking. If she was saying the other day, like, if anything did happen, she has a plethora of people she could call. To set me straight. She has options, like pick one. Because all through my life, I've always had people who can actually talk to me.
Yeah.
Pastors, parents, uncles, aunties, leaders for days. And I've been blessed to serve under like some amazing leaders. Like, call me and tell me the truth. Because in that way, if multiple people are calling you and no one has actually called me to like say anything crazy. So that's a blessing. But if they ever did, I will pay attention, bro. And I do feel like if you're going to steward something that is like, by God's grace, global, it's the reach is crazy, bro. There's people in Indonesia who are like messaging me. So like, I'm not blind to the fact that if anything crazy did happen right now, there would be people who would be like disappointed, you know?
Yeah.
And for me, I'm not living in fear. I'm just pressing on by the word of God, living every single day by his guidance. But if I ever do stray, before it gets crazy, there's people who can like correct me back.
5 years ago, when I asked you about support in your early career, you said, here's the thing about support. People support you if you're so crazy about what you do. If you're very consistent at what you do, I have no choice but to be like, you're crazy, or I'll be crazy with you.
Mm.
How have you noticed the support for you over time? What did you know? Was there a change or a shift over the years where people saw you were consistent, saw you weren't going away, saw that you were crazy about what you do, and did you see like a kind of an amalgamation of like more support, kind of the
Interesting.
crazier, not crazier, it's
Yeah.
probably not the best word, but the more passionate and the more kind of focused you became on what you were
Did
doing?
the support get bigger?
Yeah, did it get greater? Did you notice
It's an
that?
interesting question.
What's it interesting?
Because over the last few years, I've maybe stopped looking at it, but I felt it.
Okay.
So 5 years ago, I think something happens when you start putting, like, I call it mileage.
Yeah.
When you just start putting miles in your tank. That kind of thing. You're just going year in, year out. You're creating, you're releasing, I think there's a stability that comes with people knowing, oh, he's that guy, or that kind of thing. 5 years ago, it was probably like, oh, this is still new. This is still fresh. Is he gonna be around for a minute? Because in our space, people don't last. Not because they're not talented, but maybe certain structures are not in place. And by God's grace, I've had structure. I've had incredible people around me in my corner. But the support has more solidified rather than, because like, it's almost like when you're building a tower and you create the foundations. That's what I feel now. I feel like foundations are pretty strong.
Yeah.
That we can do like hey, this is a pop-up thing. 100 people. All right, cool. Do you want to pull up? And it would sell. Whereas before, I would have struggled to do that because people were excited about it, but it hadn't like entered their soul.
Yeah,
like
it
it
hadn't
was,
gelled together
you feel
properly
me?
for them.
Like,
Yeah.
And I think I've had to be really cautious about that as I've grown up, I've matured. Little situations have happened, and I've been like, oh, like, is this real? Are these like passive or active? And that's the whole thing we're talking about. Like 2025 now, we have passive listeners for days. Like people, especially with TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, if they like one song, it doesn't mean they're rocking with you just because they like a song. And you have to be very careful about that if you want to create like an ecosystem in this thing, because you can't build foundations on passive support. It has to be active. And that's when you get into the space of like communities and creating systems that allow people to buy into something rather than it just being, oh, I've got a viral song.
Yeah.
In actuality, bro, I've started not hating it because it's a good thing, right? But when stuff starts going viral, it's like, it can be good if you're ready and you're set up for it.
Okay, yeah.
And that's why catalog is a good thing. But if you have a few songs and you go viral and you're always playing into that, you start being known as that person. I would rather steady, daily, give me 10 streams a day for the rest of my life. That kind of thing. Now I'm talking about steady growth. I would rather that than just one peak and a drop.
Yeah.
That's just my preference, because I think you can build with people. You can tell a story, tell a consistent narrative. It's like, hey, guys, this is who I am. Come on this journey with me, rather than just having a whole lot of people go onto your page and then the next month they're off. So I would rather just build like that. So the support has like solidified, which is a blessing. And now I've started to branch into things like I had a podcast. I've got a podcast. I just don't be putting out.
You pretending to be at home, chilling.
I'm sorry, bro.
The podcast, everyone's just like, yo, where's the podcast at? You know, the tribe's asking. I know the tribe's asking.
Bro, it's peak, bro. But yeah, I'm like diversifying into all these other things. And it's a blessing. Like, people just buy into the person, and then whatever you're like doing in the season, people more likely rock with it.
Also 5 years ago, you said, now in the UK, we're in a place where it's so pivotal, where we have so many extremely talented artists and worship leaders that we have to get it right.
Yeah, man.
You spoke about having structure for you. You also spoke about not everyone had the same structure, so that's potentially why certain people didn't last as long as we probably would have wanted them to. Have we got it right yet, or is there still a way to go?
Yes and no.
Yeah, because we was just having this discussion. Yeah.
I'll say over the last, like, you made a great point, and I think over the last 5 years, we've seen a rise of very talented folks who are just like bombing on. Like they're just leaving. You know, like in the cartoons when someone just speeds, you just see the
Yeah, they're just gone.
yeah, bro, zoomed.
Quickly as well.
Bro, like and this is the thing about 2025, you can do that. Now, in 2 years, people are going from starting their career to selling out arenas. And people that come to mind is Free, DC Free, and Notorious Sunday. Over the last, and I'm talking about maybe just more of an age thing, not like a, and I'm not trying to big bro anybody, like, trust me, like, because I hate when people do that. But I just mean like genuinely, like the success and what they're using social media to do is unreal, especially Anatolia. I think the way she uses social media is class. It's like, do you see the whole thing I was talking about, content and artistry? She's mastered the two. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, big up to you. Like, nuts. DC3 doing it in his own unique way. Rapper.
Feels like we've never seen it before.
Exactly. Yeah. And Sunday is quietly creating for himself one of the most insane catalogs. Like with every album drop. And I've been in rooms in Nashville where people are like, yo, this Sunday guy's incredible. And I'm like, yeah. He's so creative. He's so creative. And I think those three for me have just like, I'm like huge fans of all three of them. And I think over the last 5 years, they've used social media in a way that is so like revolutionary for artists. Like DC3 almost started a whole trend by himself, you know, when the whole like thing. And then I'm just like, this is actually insane to see. And I think the UK, has it got it right, is your question. I would say people and creatives here, like those three I've mentioned, have just said, bun what everyone else is doing, I'm just gonna do my thing. But the UK is great because it's a space where there are no boundaries, there are no boxes as well. Correct. So I do think, as a creative, the UK is one of the most fertile grounds for diverse music in Christian music. Like, you can just wake up tomorrow and say, I'm a lo-fi rapper who plays keys and plays violin. It's true. And there's a space for you.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, in America, with the little bits I've been there, everything's in boxes.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I do everything. It's like, well, okay, but what does that mean? Like, where do you stay? And that is good in some ways, but in the UK, like, people can just be who they want to be. So yes, it has got it right in terms of making the ground more fertile. And no, because at the end of the day, success for me in this context is when multiple people are doing it, like you rightly said. And it's not just like 2 or 3 like doing their thing. It's like everybody else is getting a piece of the pie. You
can have crowds and still miss the core. Success in ministry isn't about numbers, it's about obedience. Elaborate, and I think you've kind of spoken about it a little bit before, how we can miss the core.
If the focus is on numbers, the core is to bring people to repentance. That's I'm talking as a Christian creative right now. Like, I make music and I would have done this without being ever paid a penny, right? So the call is to make Jesus known, bring people to the awareness of his love, and make them go into the world and make disciples. That's the call. So you can have crowds who are focused on the wrong thing if you're focused on the wrong thing. So if you're diverting them away from what the purpose of this ministry is, you're missing the call. I think one of the greatest responsibilities as a Christian creative is to point people to Jesus. So when people come for a called out concert, they're coming essentially to meet Jesus, not called out. My job is to climb on that stage and say, all right, hey guys, what's up? Anyway, here's Jesus. Like, this is why you're here, man. Like,
John the Baptist type ones.
Bro, yeah.
John the Baptist
bro,
type ones.
100%. Yeah. Because then that's what I'm there to do.
Yeah.
Amidst all of that, we can have a good time. In the presence of the Lord, there's fullness of joy. So we can dance, we can sing, we can shout, we can be happy, we can be merry, we can be sober in the presence of the Lord. We can cry, we can pray. So the concert is usually encompassing of all of those things. But essentially, I'm there to be like, hey guys, yeah, this is Jesus, and this is why I'm here. There's always a moment in every concert where I like to call it a call, but it's not necessarily an altar call, but it's a, how do I put it? It's a God consciousness call. a reminder, because I noticed very early in Called Out in our concerts, a lot of people liked the music, but they weren't necessarily Christians because of the style of music that we used to create at the time. I started noticing, I was like, oh, what church you go to? Church? I don't go to church. Like,
I'm just like you.
it's like, it's like
I like the
it's like,
vibe.
I like the vibe, bro. I'm here for the. And I started noticing, oh my gosh, like I need to start including this altar call. And my manager Chibs at the time, he actually started to create the wording of how we would intentionally place Jesus at the center of every event. So there was always a moment where we would start praying, and in that prayer and every concert, I will pray for people to be saved and invite people if they wanted to be saved.
Yeah.
So it was like a clever way of doing it, but we still didn't mince our words. We're like, yo, we're doing this because we're saved. We're doing this because we're loved by Jesus. Like, don't get it twisted. You might like the vibes, but I am here because I've been saved by Jesus, and you need to know him too. So that's what I mean. So, I mean, I don't want to just have followers who don't know what I stand for. I don't want to have a crowd who come to a concert just to have a good time. We're going to have a good time, but there's a whole purpose to what I do. And the moment that purpose goes away, I don't think I'm going to do music. Because I don't do music for fun. I do music because it's evangelical. It's my way of saying, how can I put more Christ-centered songs into the world that remind people of how much God... If you notice, I talk a lot about God's love. I talk a lot about the freedom I have in Christ. It's not a mistake. It's like I have a focal point of what I want to sing about. The moment that goes away for me, and I'm just going to stop. Like, what am I singing about? I'm singing about Jesus, man, you know? And that's why maybe I've never been so shy to say I'm a Christian creative, because in the call that I know God has ordained for my life, showing people the love of Jesus is so central to that. And if I actually find a lot more joy and fulfillment in doing that, rather than just singing. Like I don't need to just sing. I'm singing about someone and something. So that's what I meant by that.
Is there ever a world
Yeah.
where CalledOutMusic stops existing and Samuel the creative is the focus?
I definitely think so.
Really?
I definitely, because the call is to go into the world and make disciples, not go into the world and make music. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, do you know what I mean? I'm here to do that Great Commission, bro, like by any means necessary. And I often, as I'm getting maybe like, I'm in my 30s now. Well, in my 30s, I just entered, I hate that. I'm 30 years old.
Like you 30s though. you try to bypass it. Like you want to say you late 29s, early 31s. No, you
okay, so say no. You see, man, like this guy, yeah. Like, you're just an op. You're just an op, bro.
No, you
like,
keep saying, I'm 30 now,
bro.
And then you look up at the sky like, wow, really?
I'm always deep in it. I can't believe it. But for real, like, being 30 years old is almost reminding me that, bro, like, time is, you know, like, by God's grace, I want to do this for as long as he needs me to do it.
Yeah.
But the moment God is like, all right, this Simon is changing, I'm going to drop it. Because I feel like I do have a call on my life to make Jesus known to people who don't know him, and to people who know him to remind them of his love. But that does not need to be only through music. And that's why with the articles and all these other avenues and pods, and sometimes I'm invited to preach at places, I'm like, really? And over the last few years, the Lord's like, yeah, like,
It's part
of it. Do you think you're just here to make music, bro? Like, music is simply a tool. It's the most spoken language in the world, you know, or most used language in the world. So for me, it's like, it's one of the quickest ways to get a message out there, which is why I'm very intentional about what I'm saying. Because if you can make people sing stuff repetitively in rhythm and in melody, that is a message that they're singing over and over to themselves. So for me, music has been a great tool, but I've always known a time will come where I may not release music as much. I like it, it's a hobby, but I'm not dying on the line for it, you know, it's a blessing. But yes, there will be a time where CalledOutMusic, as it's been known, may cease to exist, if that's God's will, and I'll be completely fine with that.
So it's been 10 years. I believe you got baptized on the 27th of September.
Yeah, bro.
2015. So it's been just over 10 years since you've been baptized. In those 10 years, is there anything unique that has anchored you to stay true to your faith in the midst of this society?
I just feel like there's always a constant reminder of like God's realness. Like, he's real. So I think when you've tasted and seen something for yourself, I don't think you need any more examples to kind of remind you or prove to you that God exists. My wife and I were talking yesterday, actually, funny enough, about the disciples being so bold and all these crazy ways that they died and they were killed for Jesus, for proclaiming his name. And how can you arrest someone, torture them, and say, don't do it again? And then you turn your back and then they're doing the same thing, bro. Like, the boldness was so crazy. It's only because they must have seen something that nobody could have taken away from them. Like, you couldn't have told those disciples that Jesus wasn't real.
Correct.
They saw, bro. They walked with him. They ate with him.
Yep.
They saw him do these miracles. So, like, they were so convinced that Jesus was real. And in my life over the last few years, God has shown me in so many ways that he is real. Moments where I had absolutely nothing. Like, I can't explain to you how I got through a season. All I can tell you is I woke up one day and I was through it. Or moments of desperation where I was praying to God for maybe finances, and the Lord answered my prayer by not giving me money, but by giving me comfort, by giving me hope, something that is like greater than what I even asked for. Moments like that, you look back and you're like, nah, you're real and you've shown yourself to me. And I always think one of the greatest things that can happen to a Christian is when their faith goes from head to heart. It's like, I know God exists, but then no, I believe he exists. That's different. So it's different between knowing and believing. And I'm like, bro, over the last 10 years since I've been baptized, I started with knowing. It was like, that's cool. But now, bro, you can genuinely, you can put a gun to my head, bro. I'm like, no, he's real. He's real. He's realer than oxygen. Like, realer than my next breath. That's the truth. So now I believe, man.
You're in your 30s now.
I'm gonna crash his cameras, you know. I'm gonna crash out on this podcast, bro.
You've just turned 30.
Yeah.
Let's say that. You've just turned 30.
Yeah.
Coming up to 2 years being married.
Yes.
Is there now a new maturity, evolution of Samuel that you're enjoying that you haven't seen before? And how does having Deborah as your wife evolve you as a man?
Bro, I'm gonna say this as a brother. I think this woman has changed my life in a way that I didn't think was possible. In a way that, like, seeing my flaws and seeing my faults in HD has made me work on them quicker and like better, because she's actually helping me to work through with it, and vice versa. Like, that's what marriage does. I think before I got married, people always say to me, hey man, Samuel, I think you're an excellent communicator. I think you know how to put your points in.
Marriage will mash you
Bro,
up, you know?
People will tell me, you know how to put your words together, like you point evidence, explain, you're clear. And my wife and I, we had like a little argument in like month 3, month 4, and she looked at me and said, you're rubbish at communicating.
Yeah.
I said, me?
After everyone's been telling me I'm great.
Do you know my facts? Do you know my statistics?
Have you been hearing these songs? You've been hearing what I've been singing. You hear the lyrics?
Bro.
You hear da 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 da. Have you heard that yet? So I've been out yet. But have you? You ain't heard that though. You don't know.
Bro, my wife said to me, oh, you didn't communicate very well then. You're rubbish at communicating. And in that moment,
what does that do to you?
It humbles me, bro. Because I'm like, you're the person who sees my vulnerabilities. So if you're saying something, I've got to take it seriously, first of all. And then it makes me want to be like, okay, come down from your high horse, listen to what's being said, and like work together. We were at church yesterday, and the pastor said there's a difference between a contract and a covenant. A contract is when stuff goes left, how do we get out?
Yeah.
Covenant is when stuff goes left, how do we get through? And I was like, oh, it's not, he didn't say, how do we stay in?
So
how do we get through? So it's like, we're moving together through this tough period. And as a man, being married has heightened my responsibility, heightened my level of care, and just the way that I can now listen, hear somebody out without giving my opinions all the time, and actually encourage a loving home. I think part of my job is just almost being a comfort pad for my wife to just lean on. And that has helped me to mature, because before I say something, I need to know that I'm picking from the right source. So before I can say encouraging stuff to my wife, I need to know that I know enough of the Word of God, so that when I'm put, hey, babe, this just happened. Okay, cool. Calm down. It's gonna be okay, and here's why. So now I'm closer to the Lord than ever before, which has helped me become a better artist, better husband, better minister of the Word of God, but also maturing in my fruit in terms of like love, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, faithfulness, self-control, all of that stuff. I feel like I'm displaying more fruit and I'm becoming more Christ-like. So being married to Deborah, and she just helped organize my life in so many different ways. Of course, like my wife, she will tell me the truth. If she notices I'm moving mad in any way, she'll be like, hey man, like maybe don't do that. And yeah, it's interesting. And one of my mentors said to me in 2021, I think he was like, yeah, I think you should get married soon. And I was like, bro, I'm single. If I wanted to go to America today, I'm on a plane in the next hour. He was like, no, not because of that. There's a side to ministry that you learn when you're married. And I hear it now. Like, it's not even like a visible side that people may necessarily see. It's more an internal development and a growth that happens within you. That even Samuel in 2025 is different from Samuel 2024 when I got married. Like the last year has just been full of growth, full of embracing change and responsibility, but also pushing through my person, knowing that you're by my side regardless. And I hope I keep being a loving husband to her by God's grace and through God's help, because yeah, man, my home is a happy place right now, bro. And it's like, that's why I be staying at home all the time, bro. Like I'm at peace and I'm happy, you know? So that's a blessing.
I love that. My last question to you today
was
where you're at in life right now. What advice or encouragement would you give to yourself?
I would say Joshua 1:9, be bold and courageous. Do not be afraid. For the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. That's what I would say. Don't be afraid. Do things, try things, fail, get back up. Because now I feel I'm at a point where it's just about, it's not like God can't do more with my life. It's how much can I allow him to do with my life? I think that's where I'm at. And sometimes it's scary because when you've got to a place where you've achieved a certain level of comfort, you've achieved a certain level of like, okay, I'm cool. I'm very content. Now, contentment can start to become a crutch because you're cool. And sometimes, some days I'm like, am I content or am I being lazy right now? Like, what's the thing? And I heard someone say, as a believer, if you're not always believing God for something and you're not always stretching your faith, then you're not exercising it. And I think I need that right now. Not like I need new challenges. Not just not like let me just
hold on. I don't need no new challenges.
Hold on a second.
Struggle soldier here. Don't need nothing do.
Because tomorrow now I'll be at your age. What going, bro? What's going on? But more like I want to be in a space where if a new challenge comes, I'm like, yes, Lord, because you can. Not because I can. You can. And may I be courageous to take steps to just, I don't know, being obedient, not living in fear. Because I also heard, we listened to a sermon yesterday, fear is negative emotion, negative expectation. That's what fear is. So when a challenge arises and you have negative expectation for that challenge, that's fear. If you have positive expectations, that's faith and that's hope. But if God is on your side, surely you should have positive expectation over everything. So I'm at a point right now where I'm moving from being a realist or a pessimist to being a continuous optimist, because God is able. Now I just need to trust that, because there is more. There's more that I can allow him to do with my life. He's not even like, I don't think I've scratched the surface, Haych, generally speaking. I think we should come back here in 5 years' time.
No, we will.
And have the same conversation, because I think there is a lot more that God can do. And there's a lot more that God can do with all of our lives, bro, if we let him. Like, stop living in negative expectation and start living in, what if it works out? What if you do that course, that master's, that PhD, and it goes like that? It's not, what if I do the PhD and there's no jobs? No. What if there's jobs waiting for you? What if you do, you push through that business deal and everything just goes crazy? What if you made that content today? You know, like, you're not wasting your time, you're learning, you know? So that's what I say to myself, man. Just trying to encourage myself out of these streets, bruv. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Samuel, thank you.
Thank you for having me, H, man.
Thank you. I appreciate you so much. It's been Conversation with H, revisited with the amazing Samuel, also known as CalledOut Music.
Sir.
And we'll have much more content coming for you very, very soon.